Hello and welcome, I'm Peasant, and in this strategy playthrough I'm going to be playing the hard AI with just the base game and talking through my decisions. It's a kind of aimed at newer players. Oh, Spire again, damn it. Well, I'm just going to roll with it. This is what I got in the last playthrough, but I'm just going to roll with it. So, we are up against Alpha Centauri. We are New Sparta, so we start with the 2 military here. So these military cards are ones we want to keep. So our first decision, first decision in the game, we start with 6 cards, we keep 4. Unless you're Ancient Race or Galactic Scavengers, but we're not them, we're New Sparta. So we deciding what to get rid of here. So these 2 cards we can settle with our New Sparta, so we probably want to keep those as a priority. And this is a 6 cost. I think it's generally worth keeping a 6 cost if you're, because these are rare and wonderful things to have, and you're more often looking for a 6 cost than having too many. So I'm going to hang on to this, I'm going to hang on to these, and then it's about these things. So I think I'm actually going to keep Galactic Engineers, because I think this could be useful if my opponent goes into producing, consuming. This produce on any Windfall world could be good for getting my goods back. So I'm going to get rid of these 2 here. All right. So I could go. So you've got this is actually going to be an interesting junction point. I could just go kind of slightly YOLO and just go settle trade, turn around, play uplift race and trade it. Trouble is that my opponent might do some good stuff on their turn. They might explore and develop something, and I'd be missing out on a phase by doing that. But I think it can be worthwhile. Any experienced players that are watching this, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on that. You might miss out on the develop. I have nothing I can develop early on. The thing is, I could try and play around that, but I'm gambling just as much by exploring, hoping to draw something useful and developing. So I think I'm actually just going to go settle trade here, and we'll see what our opponent does. So they did. So they didn't even call develop or anything. So it worked out fine. So we'll go with the uplift race, and then we'll trade. The last game I had against the AI was just weird. I mean, it still scored a hefty number of points, but it was disappointingly weird. Okay, so we've drawn into some cards that like each other. Contact Specialist means I don't need actual military, which is a shame. I've already got actual military. And this gets me extra points for Contact Specialist and for Gene's Worlds. So this, if I play all these together, that could be a nice amount of points. The other thing this does is it produces cards in the produce phase for each Gene's World. So that could mean I can kind of get around, if my opponent here is just doing a lot of trade producing, which it might do, I can kind of play this and benefit from that, however indirectly. And I don't have to play the Contact Specialist straight away. I could still use this military, though playing this itself will decrease my military somewhat. And this is, it's good to have something that actually scores you points. It's not just about having a collection of cards in your hand. So I think I'm going to go explore develop. Now also, I'm thinking, well, my opponent didn't call develop. Maybe they don't have any good developments. Maybe that's why, but they are the AI. The AI is very strong, but it was kind of made in a lab. Okay, so we get to keep 2 out of these 3, and they are going to trade produce. Another weird AI game. Oh god, AI, why are you doing this to me? Why are you not playing awesomely? Well, they might still win. So again, we want to keep a few big, expensive cards that are worth lots of points. Generally, they're a good thing to hang on to because again, you might be looking for these and not finding them. Though picking both of these are both discounts on develop, and having a whole ton of discounts on develop is a pretty powerful strategy. It's pretty cheesy. People call it dev spam, and it is disgusting. And it's also quite tempting. It might mean I can really catch my opponent kind of unaware. And I've got this big develop I want. I think I'm going to go with the dev spam. So I'm going to illustrate probably the most annoying strategy in the game, which is to just spam loads of developments. So the first development I'm going to play is this one rather than this one. This is a straight discount. This one gives you a card after. And I'm playing this one first because I'm going to play this one afterwards. And if I play this one first, I effectively won't get this discount on the public works. So it just saves me a card to play it first. Okay, so what's the key to dev spam? You just play some dev discounts and and do a lot of discarding. Sorry, playing devs. It's arguably the most degenerate strategy in the game. So if you like winning, but don't like having friends, I definitely recommend it. AI doesn't seem to mind though. So they are trade producing, absolute mad lads. But they're doing a good job of playing cards on my develop. Good lads. I'm tempted to go League here. Yeah, I think so. And I'll keep Galactic Engineers because it would be nice to get this good back. What the Galactic Engineers does, it will give me the produce on a Windfall world. So I'll keep that. I'm going to get rid of New Earth. It bugs me. It bugs me. And we'll keep. And when you're dev spamming, you kind of want to keep. You slightly prefer to keep. Developments so that you've got developments to spam. So yeah, I will keep this cheap. I will keep 2 worlds. So let's get rid of the mining conglomerate. Oh wow, I've got to get rid of loads of stuff. So again, I'm going to prioritize keeping this 6 cost. Maybe I won't. Yeah, let's not keep Galactic Engineers. Because I'm just not really settling. That's not really what I'm into. I'm all about the devs, the developments. So then it got a card on the produce, and we've drawn another 6 cost. So I don't have enough discounts to just go purely develop here, but I will. So I'm going to go explore +1/+1 develop. And yeah, this is actually this is arguably the most degenerate strategy in the whole game. So I'm sorry. Oh, actually, I will keep this because it does gain us 2 points for Pan-Galactic League. Looks like my opponent has finally switched into doing something that isn't just weird trade producing. So that's a relief. So we'll keep this just for the points, and we'll get rid of new military tactics, I think. And that decision was, I probably could have gone into that decision a bit more. If you have any comments or questions about the game, even just rules questions, feel free to ask down below, and I'll do my best to answer them. I try and answer every comment on the channel, which isn't too difficult at the moment. Okay, so we've got develop, settle, trade. See, the trade is going to happen. We've got a good way of taking advantage of it. If we play a Windfall world, like one of these worlds, the good will be consumed on public works. So that means I probably want to play a cheaper one, but these are actually both the same, even though this would be worth 3. This is also worth 3 because of this bonus here. So this is the point. This is the option that just gives me points, really. It's going to give me 4 points. And I do want to play it at some stage. So yeah, let's play it now. Except we're missing out on a bit of a discount. This does count against it a bit. If we go straight in with Galactic Survey, it's going to cost itself, and then it's going to cost 6 -1 for calling develop, -1 for calling this. So it costs 4. So it costs 5 cards out of my hand, and then it will return 1 back with Public Works. That could also be okay. We don't have that much that's that high priority. We could get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we're a little empty if we do that. So I'm actually not going to do that. If you're playing against a human and they go down to a low hand size, that's your time to strike and just call lots of phases, especially in their weaker phase. So in this case, actually the AI is okay in development and in settle, but if they have a weaker phase, you can then hammer them with a double call on a phase, and that often means you can kind of get ahead. Not always, especially if they're planning around that and they've kept a couple of cards that are cheap and fit. But it's a card game. You can't plan for everything. Not sure what I want here. I suppose we play one of these and get the extra card. The Explorer is actually pretty valuable. Explore power is like a low key, pretty nice. And we do have the Galactic Survey down here, so this is worth a few more points. So we are ahead on points for now, but these aren't high point scores. All it'll take is 1 6 cost. I'll be right in it, though. I'm not sure. Not sure what they're aiming for here, but the AI does not aim. It merely, but it does somehow get the job done a lot of the time. much to my horror. Okay, so we've got a good survey here. And thinking about when the game might end a little bit. So we've got a few more turns yet. I've not really done much to maintain a big hand. So I think what I'm going to do here is produce. I'm tempted to settle produce, but that's going to burn almost my entire hand. If I explore produce, I can leech a develop that my opponent calls, or I can leech a settle that my opponent calls with one of these big things here, and feel pretty happy about it. Yeah, I think I'm going to go explore produce. So I'm not calling any phases. So yeah, we'll see. Double settle, huh? Okay, so here's the lovely thing about military is that these worlds are pretty cheap to settle. I mean, context specialist is a bit weird, so it's a bit different, but I'm sure it makes some sense somewhere in some universe. And I'm trying to balance brevity, succinctness with actual useful, actionable advice, and possibly failing. Let's see. So we've got to produce. We will get extra points for rebels if we use this 6 cost. I think I'm going to go with playing the species arc world. That's going to cost me 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're going to be clearing ourselves out, so I'm not going to go rebel miners. It's worth the same number of points. I don't have a whole load of places to consume goods, so the fact it's a production world isn't that relevant for me. So I'm going to play this because it's free with Context Specialist. It's free, damn it. It's free. And then I'm going to go with... This is worth 5 points because we get the 2 extra from Pan-Galactic League. And it will mean I draw 3 cards in the produce, so that's pretty good. It kind of effectively gives half of its price back immediately. So we'll keep the Rebel Miners and 4 more cards. So basically we only get to keep 2 cards. So I think I'll keep SETI and Imperium. That doesn't feel great, actually. I think I'll keep... I'm gonna keep one of each. No, I'm gonna keep... So we're gonna draw 1, 2, and then for this another 2 in the produce. So we're gonna be back up to 6 cards in total. I think I am gonna keep only 1 6 cost. If I keep this one and settle it, then this Galactic Imperium will be worth 7, but the SETI will also be worth 7, so I could keep whichever one of these I like, really. This would help me actually settle Rebel Worlds at a slight discount, so I think I'm going to go with this one. But yeah, going a little low here, but it will, of course, be immediately refilled. And we'll have another green good. It doesn't matter, I think, in this case. What colour we go for there. Okay then, so we are ahead 10 points, so we might want to try and rush the game to a close a little bit. So I'm going to go with I've actually got goods to trade now, and I really haven't had that luxury much this game. So I'm going to trade, and I can afford to develop. And because I've got investment credits, I can actually develop Imperium and leech the settle if my opponent calls settle. So when I say leech, it's basically using your opponent's phases to your own advantage. So I'm going to go develop trade here. So by trading one of these, I will be mostly paying for that the development that I placed here. And I only get to keep 1. So I'll keep the Rebel Miners. So now I'm just hoping to close out the game. They've started consume producing. This is, especially in pure base game, this is a very, very effective way of making a lot of points. So I need to get a wiggle on. So I'll trade off this production world. So, yeah, so if you don't produce on here, you don't draw the cards. And we'll consume a brown good. So 9 points ahead, and 2 more placements, and that'll be the game. But I don't really have anything good. However, I think I do need to just play some stuff. So let's look at my opponent's tableau. They've got a single 1 discount on developments and 2 discount on settles. So they are slightly better at settling. They've got a big hand as well. I am much better at developing than settling. So I think I'm going to try and finish the game with 2 develops, and I'm just going to play big, expensive, spammy things. So Research Labs is actually, oh, actually no, it's only worth 2. Oh, do I get anything off these? No. So yeah, I think I'm just going to double develop, and it's going to be a bit of a weird finish. But we should be able to leech a settle. For example, this will be worth 2 points because of the Pan-Galactic League. Actually, it'll be worth 3 points because I'll also get a point for Galactic Imperium. Yeah, so I'm going to finish with double develop. Yeah, see, they didn't call a single phase. This is the right way to do produce consume. The right way. Well, one way. Wait, they could have predicted I was going to end it and then gone for something that would have helped them more than the produce. Who knows? All right, so we're just maximizing points now. And we don't have a 6 cost that cares about our developments because the only development it cares about we've already got. So we just play the cards that are going to offer us the most points. There is a consume phase that is slightly relevant. So we can use Research Labs to consume one of these green goods. Then we're fine. It doesn't matter what we discard because the game is over. But I'm just going to discard worlds for safety's sake. And so we're going to be consuming this, going to be consuming this. So then this is just worth the most points. So that's going to be the call here. And it doesn't matter what we pay for it. But they're going to get a good chunk of points off this consume. I get to consume this and this. So yeah, that was pretty close. Pretty close. That was the kind of dev spam business. I'm going to close that so you can actually look at what the AI did. So this is a good thing to look at as you've got these cheap things at the start for the most part. You can sometimes skip ahead. That's more with expansions though than in base game. And yeah, cheap stuff, and then starting to do produce consume. Yeah, so that was another slightly odd game. I'm going to keep on doing a series of these games, and then once I've done, I don't know, an arbitrary number, I'll then pick out the ones that are most instructive and probably have some kind of tie together video. But anyway, thanks so much for joining me. I've been Peasant. Thanks for being here, and if you like the video, like the video. Cheers. Just realised I hadn't actually officially scored, so we'll do that. I am the winner. Yay! All right. Till next time.